Jeep has a winner in the shape of the new Compass. And what a shape it is! This car looks great. The interiors have an upmarket feel. It drives well, and more importantly, its pricing is spot on. Now previously, we drove the diesel manual version of this car and were really impressed by it. This time, we have the petrol automatic variant. So let's see if this petrol is as impressive as the diesel. We've reviewed the Compass extensively, so in this video, we'll only focus on this petrol variant. The petrol is available only in two-wheel drive, and the top two variants, that is the Limited and Limited O, get the Autobox. The base petrol comes with a 6-speed manual. For our test, we have the top spec. Curiously though, the alloys on this top spec petrol are identical to the diesel's mid-spec longitude variant. That aside, there's nothing else to tell the petrol apart from the diesel, from the outside at least. Even on the inside, the petrol Compass is identical to the diesel counterpart, save for the gear lever and the tachometer. Also, being a two-wheel drive, it misses out on the four-wheel drive panel. So there's this additional storage area here, and the good thing is, its base is rubberized, so metallic items placed here won't rattle around. Powering this Compass is a new 1.4-litre multi-air turbo petrol that makes 163 horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. This multi-air is 100 Nm down on torque compared to the 2-litre diesel, so performance isn't as effortless. You put your foot down and there is noticeable turbo lag below 2000 revs. However, once the revs start building, there's a nice lusty wave of torque which lunges this car forward. Accelerate hard, and that punchy mid-range induces some torque steer as the front wheels struggle to find traction. The engine itself is pretty free-revving and will spin all the way till the 6500 mark. However, at higher revs, it isn't as refined as we'd have liked and tends to sound a bit too vocal and too boomy. However, all that torque does help the Compass petrol achieve some pretty impressive in-gear acceleration times, but you really have to spin the motor beyond the 2200 RPM mark to access it. It also does the 0 to 100 km/h sprint faster than the diesel. However, the latter feels more effortless to drive and a lot more fuel efficient too. This 7-speed dual-clutch transmission makes driving in the city a breeze with seamless and smooth shifts. However, when you put your foot down to make those quick overtaking maneuvers, there is a bit of delay, and this dulls the entire driving experience to an extent. To counter the lag, there is a manual option, but that defeats the purpose of an auto. So it's best to use this transmission in a relaxed manner, where it works more efficiently. There's neither a sport mode nor are there paddle shifters. The brakes too are not the best under hard inputs and tend to unsettle the rear of the car. The ride quality though is fantastic, and the worse the road, the better the Compass feels. Although it's a bit on the stiffer side in the city, it remains flat and planted out on the highway. Even its handling is very balanced for an SUV that sits so high above the ground. The steering is a bit lighter than the diesel, but it is still precise and inspires confidence while darting this SUV into corners. To sum it up, the twin-clutch 7-speed automatic gearbox could be a bit quicker to respond, and the sudden spikes in power take a bit of getting used to. The 1.4 turbo petrol doesn't have the same effortless performance as its diesel sibling, but by no means it's slow either. Basically, this variant will appeal to buyers looking for a smooth petrol SUV with the convenience of an automatic to battle congested city streets. The Limited and Limited O spec, priced at Rs 18.96 and 19.67 lakh respectively, are Rs 26 to 28,000 higher than a similar specified 2-litre diesel 4x2 manual, which should be a lot more efficient and with more power and torque to boot. So unless petrol and automatic are on your must-have list, the the diesel Compass is still the pick of the range and still the best SUV in its class.